welcome to Rakshana TV. In today's program, we have in our midst Dr. Joanne Yeoh, and she is an accredited examiner for the Trinity College of Music, London. She's here in our midst to conduct practical examinations for the Trinity College of Music, London. Dr. Joanne, we welcome you.
Thank you.
And
Namaste.
Namaste. And I must say that I am highly privileged to be with you this
It's my
evening.
honor. It's my honor.
And to speak to you. Madam, may I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah. You have come to Hyderabad.
Yes.
Is this your first visit to India and Hyderabad?
This is not my first visit to India. I've been to India many times, countless times. I can't remember how many. But this is my second time to Hyderabad. I was here last month for an event. I was playing for a show. But that was just for 2 days. So I'm here this time for 6 weeks.
Okay. I looked up your website and I understand that you have a master's in music performance.
That's right.
And a PhD.
Yes, that's right.
And what is your area of research?
My area of research is music psychology. What I study is the music that plays in the background. How does it affect you as a consumer? So for example, if you are having a meal in a restaurant and a certain kind of music is playing, would you sit down and eat longer, or would you purchase more food to eat, or would you eat in a hurry and get out? So basically that's what I study.
Mm-hmm. And you have participated in a number of music festivals. From your website, I understand that it's the Aberystwyth Music Festival, the Edinburgh Summer Festival, the Leeds Annual Festival. And how old were you when you first gave your performance?
As in performances, as in like in orchestra style, or solo performances. Solo performances, I only started doing this like about 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with orchestra, I've been playing since I was studying when I was young.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw your pictures on the web too. You're looking very young, beautiful.
I was young.
You know, you
was
are
beautiful.
Yeah, and you're looking very elegant in an Indian sari.
Oh yes, well, it took me about 1 hour to wear this. I had help from the hotel. I bought this from Kolkata last month.
And does music run in your family?
My sister does music as well, and she's also lecturing at the university. She is into jazz music. She's a major violinist for jazz music.
When do you plan to settle down in life?
Oh, now that is the question. If God ordains for it to be so, then it shall be so.
You have also performed alongside superstars like Jackie Chan, Alan Tam, David Tao. How do you feel about this achievement?
It was a great experience. It was a great learning experience for me to play in a stage, to share a stage with such big names, to play for audiences like 100 over thousands of people. It was a good experience overall. Yeah.
Okay. Your work as an examiner takes you to many places, different cultures, different people. And you examine different groups of people from different cultures.
Yes.
So how do you grade their performances? What is your view about that?
Every country has its own strengths and weaknesses, but I would say in general, it is the teacher's responsibility to make sure the student is well prepared. It doesn't matter which country you are in. I always believe that it is the teacher's responsibility. If the student doesn't play well, it is the teacher's fault. Yeah.
Are you satisfied with the level of performance by the Indian students?
Good enough. Good enough. There are a few high distinction students, generally on the pass and merit side. Yeah, few distinctions.
What's the age group you generally come across? Your examinees?
We come across from like 5, 6 in Hyderabad. I've seen about 5, 6 year olds, very small, to about one who was 75 years old. Yeah.
Now the examination that you conduct
Yes.
has various components, sections.
Yes.
You know, you have first the pieces that they play,
Yes.
then the scales,
Yep.
then the ear test,
Yep.
then the viva.
And
You know
personally,
everything.
yeah, personally, I used to be scared of the Viva and the year test.
Okay.
Now, do you think our children are prepared for this, and what are the tips that you can give them to do better?
With the new syllabus, you are given a choice of either doing sight reading, oral, improvisation, or Viva, as you said. So I feel that children in India, they are very expressive. They can explain themselves very well. So Viva is not a problem for them. For sight reading, it is a problem. What they can do is really just practice, do more new pieces and try to read fluently as possible.
Now, these year tests that you give them, you send along with the syllabus the book explaining the whole thing.
Yes.
Would it be advisable if you can put it on a CD so the child can hear it? And
We actually have. We do produce CDs as well as a guide, and book and CD for the kid to practice. So that's out in the market as well.
Okay, and one more thing, most students are very anxious during exams.
Exactly.
So can you suggest some methods to overcome this? Since your field of research is psychology.
Yeah. Well, this deals with anxiety, performance anxiety. A few things that they could do is to actually play in front of their friends before an exam. You know, have a like mini concert where all the students come out and play, and do more things like this. Public exposure. This would help them a lot.
I read some of your publications, the synopsis, and that's put up on your website. And I understand that music helps boost memory. That's what one of your papers says that. Can you tell us something about those findings?
Okay, what I researched on was playing music, say for example Indian music, and playing Chinese music to a group of people. And you ask them to recall things. Actually, I can't remember the paper exactly, but it's something to do with would music influence you to be able to remember more Indian food, for example, when Indian music is playing compared to when Chinese music is playing, and vice versa. So the findings show that if you play the right music for the right kind of, it's a fit to whatever you're asking them to do, then it fits properly, and they would be able to recall more products or more food based on the music. But what they would not realize really is that the music is playing at the back is actually Indian music. They're just like, okay, I'm supposed to think about Indian food. So just, but they wouldn't realize it's a subconscious thing.
Okay. I see from your website that you are a violinist. Now, are there any other instruments that you play?
I play the piano as well. I did my degree in both piano and violin, and I decided to choose violin for my master's.
When did you start learning music?
Started at the age of 4 with the piano.
Oh, that was very early.
Yeah, fingers start to grow then.
Yeah. Who are your favorite composers?
Debussy is one of them, impressionistic music. It's hard to say one super favorite. It depends on the time of the day. You know, if it's in the morning, I prefer this. If it's in the evening, you prefer this. It's like food.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like food in India.
Do you compose music?
No, I don't compose. I just play.
Okay. I heard you're a Christian.
Yes, you heard it right.
And do you minister through music?
I play
youth
for
or
churches.
in the church?
Yes, I play for churches, for events in churches, and the likes of it.
You conduct any cantatas or some music concerts in the church?
Fundraising events, yes, but not exactly cantatas. Those are more choir-based. So voice is not my nature.
Okay. Have you visited any of these churches in Hyderabad?
I have.
Okay.
Pearl City Church and AOG New Life. New Life
Assemblies of God, yes.
Wow, that's packed with people. Super packed. Yeah.
So we do have churches in Hyderabad, especially the Anglican churches, where they still sing classical English classical music, like the Handels, Bach, Stainer's Crucifixion, and things like that for during festival time, and the interest is still there to a certain extent in the city.
But is it only like for special occasions?
Only for special
Yeah,
occasions.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
Can you share with us a little bit of your experience and your coming to the Lord?
There's this ship called Dulles ship. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's a traveling ship that goes to different ports, different cities, different parts of the world.
Lagos?
Dulles.
Dulles.
Doulos. D-O-U-L-O-S.
Okay.
Doulos. And in this ship, they carry books. It's all Christian books. What happened was when I was about 6 or 7, this ship came and docked in Malaysia, in KL. And my family and I, we went to this ship, not knowing that it's a Christian kind of ship thingy. So we went there and I bought this book called 365 Days of Storybooks, or Stories or something like that. And in it was the story of Jesus. At that time I was not a believer, I was still very young, and I started reading the book. I was very interested, and of course the seed was planted then, that this Jesus person and all that. And my aunt was also a Christian, is also a Christian, and whenever she comes to visit, she would talk about these stories and she'll tell me about it. And a few years later, my sister was born, and she went to a Christian babysitter whose daughter was attending church. So on Sundays, I would wonder, where is this girl going? You know, she sits a bus and she goes off on Sunday. And one of those Sundays, I followed her, and I ended up in church. And things started to roll on from there. Yeah.
That's a wonderful experience, and we are so happy to have you with us. And Dr. Joanne, it's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, my pleasure.
And I hope we'll have the privilege of hearing you also, if I'm not asking for too much. And thank you very much. Dear viewers, we will give you this opportunity to hear Dr. Joanne shortly after this program.